Hey friend, it's Eric Carter-Landin. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe out there. Thank you so much for all the support. It means the world to me. Again, if you want to support this show, go to patreon.com/true consequences or go to ko-fi.com/true consequences. Before we go any further, I need to give a special shout out to Jackie Moranty, who's helped me write and research this chapter of the Negligence series. Welcome back to part 2 of the investigation chapter of the Negligence series, the Dylan Redwine story. I'm Eric Carter-Landin, and this is True Consequences.
Certainly.
I think you can control that. I think by like what you said, you want to be that responsible parent, that responsible dad that you portray to be. I think by doing more would be best. And what I mean by that is sharing with us where Dylan might be. And here's the thing. If Dylan is being sequestered somewhere and you have a part in it, I would allow you to use a phone that I don't know about, something that I can't trace, call this person and tell them to release Dylan. Drop him off at a Walmart, at a convenience store, at a neighbor. Hell, blindfold them, drive them to another state, drop them off safely, no consequences for that person. And the flip side of that, if he's dead and he's in a shallow grave or lying on top of the ground somewhere or in the bottom of the lake, and if you have anything to do with it, I'm letting you know now that if you lead us to him, I absolutely guarantee you that I would not arrest you today. If you told me where Dylan is today, and you take me to Dylan, show me where he's at, we'll drop you back off at your car, at your house, and we get Dylan back. And you go on with your life. Because what's more important is we want him back home.
I want that.
If you show us today, show where he's at today, just bring us there. I guarantee you, I'll cut you loose. I'm not going to arrest you today.
But Tom, I can't help you with that because I don't know where Dylan's at.
And I think you do. I know you do. Accidents happen, okay? Does he have any medical issues? Does he have anything underlying that you don't know about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because, I mean, young kids die from aneurysms, from congenital heart failure, all sorts of different problems. And if he died in your care and you freaked out and you didn't know what to do with him and people are going to blame you for killing him, then, we can look, coroners can find things like that. If he fell down accidentally and hurt himself and you freaked out and panicked and you put him somewhere, it's better to get in front of this than to have somebody down the road find him and then, oh shit, what do we do now? He's in a shallow grave. This doesn't look good. Last seen by Dad. Or you can just tell us where he's at and work with us, and we'll deal with all the other stuff later.
I'm not going to sit here and admit to you that I've done something.
During this interrogation, Mark seemed to give up. While he didn't confess, he said that he would think about it.
Well, I got nothing more for you.
Okay.
That's what you're waiting on.
Well, I like to impart. Remind you of what I said earlier. Just think
Oh,
about
I'll think about it.
Just think about
I'll
it.
think about it on my drive home. I'll think about it tonight. I'll probably wake up tomorrow thinking about it.
You say everything that you do in life is for Dylan. Everything you want to do right for Dylan. Like I said, just take us to him and cut you loose. As long as we get Dylan back, I don't care. And if, like I said, if somebody sequestered him and somebody's holding him somewhere, make that call. On a phone that we can't trace. On a phone we will never know that you called from. Tell that person to cut him loose. No consequences for that person. I don't care. Just want him back.
That's what I want too. I know to you it probably doesn't seem that way, but
Well, actions speak louder than words, Mark. I
I
mean,
understand.
do a little bit more. Maybe you'll change that public opinion, that opinion that we have of you. But like I said, I don't think you're a guy who has a mean bone in his body that would purposely do something like that. But, you know, if it was an accident, you know, we could work with that. You can't undo something that has gone horribly wrong, but you can make amends for something that you did wrong. You can always ask for forgiveness.
All right, well, I'll take that all into consideration.
Okay. All right, well, you want to talk anymore?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I came here to talk to you about the Dr. Phil show.
This subject is brought up again in another interview about a week later.
Well, you've had some time to think about some of the things I told you in the last interview. Just have you thought about what I said?
Absolutely. Can I not think about it?
Okay. So, what are your feelings about that?
It's a hard pill to swallow. You know, pretty much. It's pretty clear that, you know,
And he asked you to think about that. And do you remember what you said?
No, not exactly.
You said, I'll think about it. I'll consider it. If you didn't do anything, what would you have to consider, Mark?
I'm thinking about what he said.
What? You're thinking about what? How can you be thinking about something that you didn't have anything to do with? Doesn't make any sense. A person that is innocent would not sit here and let two people accuse them of killing their son, or hiding their son, or whatever.
About a week after this interview, Mark is again called to the police station. He's interviewed by Tom Cowing and Tanya Goldbricht about Dylan's disappearance. The interview begins with Tom telling Mark that the mail lady had been mistaken when she said that she saw Dylan in Pagosa Springs.
So, the information I want to share with you, and I think you probably already know by now, is Angie, mail lady. She was not the last person to see Dylan. She made a mistake on identifying the kids. So, we were able to
talk to her. Got some kind of email from Wayne.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, she positively ID'd these other kids. We talked to these other kids, and so just wanted to put that out there that was not her.
Well, why is it taking so long for us to figure this out?
It took forever to find those kids.
Who are these kids? I mean, do they live
We're
in
not
Washington?
releasing the names.
Yeah.
What this means is that Mark was confirmed to be the last person to see Dylan alive. They also found the tackle box that Dylan had supposedly, quote, taken fishing with him.
And the other
thing is we found a tackle box belonging to Dylan, and it wasn't at your house. So I'm not going to divulge where that was found, but it wasn't in the lake. So he didn't go fishing.
And then there was a sighting of Mark attempting to get rid of some furniture, which he, of course, denied.
Were you at the Forest Lakes subdivision shortly after Dylan's disappearance trying to throw away some
sometime
furniture?
between Halloween and
Throw
Thanksgiving.
away what?
Some furniture?
Like a dresser.
A dresser with kid stickers on it?
Not at all.
Were you confronted by somebody?
Nope.
That was a tip that we got.
I've never been in Forest Lakes for years. I know when we first moved here, that was an area that we looked at,
Yeah.
but I've never been up in there.
Well, their dumpsters are behind the fire station, Los Pinos fire station.
I didn't have any furniture like that to throw. I mean, I lost pretty much everything in my house. So everything in there has been replaced with new things.
What did you do with the stuff that you had to throw away?
The people that cleaned out the gutted the inside got rid of all of that stuff.
Throughout the entire investigation, Mark tried to put blame back on Elaine. He tried to mislead the search. He changed the subject whenever he was directly confronted about Dylan's disappearance. And at the end of the day, the investigators knew that Mark was the only one who could have done something to Dylan.
What else do you feel was misleading?
I don't think in any way my ex-wife was misleading.
How?
I still can't put my finger on it, but it just drives me crazy that within 5 minutes of me asking her if she heard from Dylan, and she's already pointing fingers at me, and who the hell calls her divorce attorney? You know, right away.
Well, somebody that thinks you did something with her son.
Well, the bottom line is, do you blame her for his disappearance?
I don't want to, but I can't help but think that she could be involved in something like that.
How could she be involved? She was at work. Mike was at work. Cory was at work. I've talked to all their employers. I've talked to coworkers.
You know what?
They were
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you gotta have some reason to think that.
She spent a lot of time here, so it's not like she doesn't know people here.
Okay.
You know, I can't assume that she did this by herself.
So you think that she's got people that are willing to risk their entire lives and families to
Well, I don't
fuck
think
you over? That's ridiculous. It's the same as us thinking that you had somebody help you. Someone's willing to give up their whole entire life and
Obviously, I
everything.
thought that at some point you wouldn't have been down
We
there.
entertained that thought. But
Right.
now we know you did it. We know you're involved. You can try and say you don't, but we know you did.
And based on what?
Everything.
Everything.
Everything that we've done in this investigation. It always leads back to you. Nobody else. We've checked out everybody else that comes along, and it all leads back to you.
There isn't anyone else, Mark. He was last seen by you at your house. No one else saw him. There haven't been any clear, substantiated evidence that he was anywhere other than your house. Yeah, of course, you have people who, call in sightings, but, after pulling hours of footage from, different surveillance cameras from all over the nation of, Dylan sightings, it's not him. So, and now we know that Angela definitely did not see him. So he was not out and about.
And we talked to a lot of people that were out and didn't see him. People that are out that didn't see anything are just as important as people that were out and did see something. But nobody saw anything.
Mark's health began to decline. He was drinking more, and investigators were concerned that he might complete suicide. This didn't stop them from interrogating him, though.
It's written all over your face, Mark. You just need to tell us.
Get out in front of it, Mark.
This isn't going to stop.
I understand.
We're never going to stop. We're going to be up in your business until we find it.
We do something every single day, 7 days a week, Mark.
Not something. We are constantly working on this case. I wake up thinking about you and Dylan and Elaine. I go to sleep thinking about you and Dylan and Elaine and Cory. I do not stop. And neither does anybody else.
And you think I don't?
No, I think you sit there and you think about it. I think you think about it every day. I don't think you're taking care of yourself because all you can do is think about it. You can't sleep. You're probably eating like crap. You got gout.
I do.
Yeah. And I hear it's awful.
Okay.
So there's no doubt in my mind that you're not thinking about it constantly. And that it is tearing you up.
It's going to be weighing on your mind heavily, daily, to the point where, how do you even function?
So, what are we going to do about this? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid to go into prison? What are you afraid of then? Are you afraid of what everyone's going to think about you?
This point is a little late for that.
I mean, that's what it seems like. You're afraid of something because you're not being honest with us. Let's face it, we all know something happened. We all know that Dylan's gone and that you know where he is. Is this how you want to live? I mean, personally, get the weight off your shoulders, take responsibility for what you've done, and let's get it done. You owe it to Dylan. You don't owe shit to Elaine, so let's not even talk about her. She's been a pain in our ass, too. So, but you owe this to Dylan. Out of anybody. If you want to live with that for the rest of your life, so be it. But we will never stop. You will never have a day of rest again. Because we will be watching you.
And that's going to start today? I don't think so.
What?
And that's going to start today? I don't think so.
Start what? What's going to start today?
You've been watching me for how long now?
No, absolutely. I'm not saying we're going to start today. We've always been watching you. You're not going to be able to take a crap without us knowing about it.
No, because you're not doing anything. You're not helping out. You're not, attending these vigils. You're not going to a lot of these fundraisers. You're not working with Elaine. You're not out there looking for him. We know that. You know why? Because I think I know where he is. Like, you know where he is. There's no need to go out and look for him when you know where he's at. Now it's just a matter of recovering his body, and you can work through this. We'll help you work through this, Mark. Help us help you. Get you out of this personal purgatory that you've been in the last 4 months.
I can't help you with that, Tom.
I sure hope you can. One of these days, I hope you see the big picture. You got to step out of yourself and look at the big picture. It's bigger than you and all of us. We're talking about Dylan, okay? tell you over and over again, get out in front of this. Don't leave this open to interpretation. Please. Please help us, Mark.
Mr. Redwine, you did not mean to hurt him, did you? You did not mean to hurt him, did
There's
you?
nothing more to say.
Mark, this is your opportunity. We are trying to help you. I don't believe that you were trying to hurt him. I don't believe that you are a bad person. I believe that you were in a bad situation and that something happened that day and that you either overreacted or something medically happened, and this is your chance. You did not bring him out here to hurt him. Something happened, and you know where he is, and today is the day that you need to let us help you and find him, please. So you did not mean to hurt him, did you? Something happened, correct? Because I don't think you're a premeditated murderer. You did not mean to hurt him, did you?
I got nothing to say.
This is your chance, Mark. No more denials. Our investigation is telling us that you know where he is. Tom is pleading with you. We are going to do everything that we can to assist you to the best of our abilities. I can't make you any promises, nor would I. But I don't believe at all that you intended to hurt him. I believe that you were shocked by things and either something medically happened or something else happened. I know you know what happened, and I know you know where he is.
Mark, your social support system has dwindled next to nothing. You don't have anyone anymore. I don't even think Charlie probably calls you or hangs out with you anymore. You might have Karen here and there. You have no one. No one believes you. And there's a reason for it, Mark. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why we don't believe what you're saying. But today is a day to be truthful and honest to yourself and to Dylan. You've lived a full, rich life. You've done a lot. Dylan didn't have that opportunity. You owe it to him. Please.
And we will have the opportunity to hear your side of the story, because I don't think you meant to do this.
I got nothing more to say.
Mark, help us find Dylan today. Help us do this, and I will help you to the best of my ability, and so will Tom. This is your opportunity. I know that guilt inside is what's bringing you in here every time. You need to let it out. It's tough. It's going to be tough coming out of your mouth, but the second it comes out of your mouth, your involvement in where he is, you're going to feel better. I guarantee you're not sleeping. I guarantee you've barely been eating, because you feel horrible. And that means that at heart you are a good dad, Mark. At heart you are a good dad, because that grief is overwhelming. You're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're feeling bad, because at heart you are a good dad. This was a mistake, wasn't it? This was a mistake, correct? You did not mean for this to happen, am I right? Because I want to believe that, Mark.
Mark would repeatedly say that he had nothing more to say. But he wouldn't get up and leave the interrogation room either. He would stay and he would continue to come back and be interrogated. He never asked for a lawyer.
Just us. You show us where he's at.
And we will get him today.
Can't help you with that. I don't want to have this conversation anymore. I'm done talking.
Okay, well, I don't think you are, because you're sitting here and you obviously want to listen to Tom and I more because you know. I can see it. It's boiling out of you right now, Mark, to tell me what happened to Dylan. It is. It's boiling out of you. That's why you're not done. You keep engaging me and talking to me because you want to tell me where Dylan is. And I understand it's hard. I can see it in your eyes right now that it's hard to come out. In your shoulders. I can tell. But the second you let me get that weight off of you, I'll help you with it. It needs to come out. Because all it is, it's going to bottle in there and get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Imagine sleeping less and feeling worse and more grief than you're feeling right now.
Your world is a sad and lonely place, Mark. What a miserable existence you must lead. I don't know how you do it. I really don't know, man. Even the hardest of the hard, the coldest of the cold, they have feelings. You paint the picture of what you want people to see, how to think about you. It's not going to get any better. It's really not. It's just going to get worse from here on out, no matter where you go, like I mentioned before. The stress is just consuming you.
The DA started a filing for prosecution and began forming a case for the grand jury. And even at this point, they told Mark several times that they could prosecute without a body. He remained silent and continued to maintain his innocence.
You control your fate, Mark. Like Agent Rustin said, without a body, we can still prosecute. Just get a little bit more and more and more. It might take a little bit longer. And then at that point, you won't have control.
And you won't be able to tell us your side of things. Of your account. And we don't believe you did any of it on purpose. And we want to show that. But we need your story. We need your account of what happened. So we can hear you, Mark.
What are you thinking about, Mark?
Having you start the prosecution process.
Start the prosecution process on you?
That's what you want to do.
How would you like the prosecution process to fare? Do you want it so that people know the truth, or that the evidence speaks the truth?
Whatever you need to do. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think the public understands the hard-working guy that you are, Mark. And that you tried to be a good father. And that you tried for a long time to be a good husband to 2 different women. We know that side of you. We've seen that. They don't know that. Dr. Phil didn't help with that. Am I right that none of that came out? None of that came out on that show. The fact that you were being a good father.
I don't care about this show. I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
Talking about in the public. This is your chance, Mark. This is your chance.
How much longer are you going to sit in that empty house of yours, Mark? Drinking past Blue Ribbon and Clamato and whatever else you've been doing there. Today's the day. Today's the day, Mark. Not tomorrow. Not several months or years from now. Today's the day. You gotta stop putting yourself through this. Come to terms with it. You don't have to go this alone. Guarantee you that. Prove it to yourself, prove it to Dylan, that you are that loving, kind, responsible father. It's time to cowboy up. Can we get you anything, Mark? You need water? Cigarette? Bathroom break? You willing to take a ride with me to somewhere?
Can't help it with that, Tom.
How far do we have to go to look for him, Mark? I know you know. Tell me. You don't have to bring us there. Tell me. Mark, tell me.
I can't help you with that, Tom.
Who can you help with that then? Someone else that you can tell? Are you ashamed? We're not here to judge you. What's it going to take? What do you need to hear?
I think I've heard it all.
Opening season starting soon. You're going to be watching it alone in your house. You're not going to have any more friends after media releases start coming out, Mark. Not like you have a lot now. What's preventing you from telling us, Mark? What we need to know?
I've heard a word say that.
I've heard every word you said, Mark. And why are you still here?
Good question, because I don't think it's polite just to get up and walk out.
Is that what you want to do?
At this point, I got nothing more to say. I've told you that how many times?
Quite a few.
Once.
Okay.
After you.
Go ahead. Guess we're done.
Dylan's partial remains were found by hikers in June 2013. The remains were 8 to 10 miles away from Mark Redwine's residence on Middle Mountain Road. Next time on Negligence, the Dylan Redwine series.
It's heavy.
No, I kind of sensed that when you just said what you did.
I'm telling you, man. What you're about to see is real heavy. I want you to be prepared for this. There wasn't a dry eye out in the field when we were dealing with this, okay? This is so upsetting. It made me cry too, buddy. What we saw was horrific. Here, Mark, here. Mark.
So what you're telling me, you found my son?
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead. He's dead, Mark. We have some human remains, positively identified as human remains, and his DNA came back this morning, 100% positive that it's Dylan. I'm sorry.
He means everything to me.
I know.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you have a clue. Where is he? I want to see him. No, I want to go. I want you to take me to him.
All we have are just a few bones and some clothing. So just look through this book. There wasn't much of him left, Mark, after the animals got to him.